Right, let's continue. So my access methods, I think we're done with this one. Emulation programs, we're done with that one. I think down to with packet tracer. We're looking at packet tracer. Tatapinda mu lab redu. Tatapinda mu device redu using our terminal 2. Right, let's continue next slide. Primary command modes. When we talk of my modes, the best analog I can have, we are talking of what we are authorized to do, access yatinenge tinayo mu device, right? Yatinoti use exec mode iyo. You have limited access, limited authorization, limited things that you can do per device rako. So if I can put it this way, let me try writing. Right. Switch redo access run something like this. We have this is the user. This is the user exec. This is the privilege mode, user exec mode. Then lastly, we have the global, not lastly, global configuration mode. Tinemanga ma modes, atinoti ma sub config modes. All right, line. We have also interface. Right. My modes are, it's like, I always say, it's like urida kuenda kunoona Mr. Madondo kuti uite lecture re-networking. Mr. Madondo vanowanika kunoko. Vanowanika ku-global configuration mode. Iwo ukasvika pa-UZ campus, ukasvikira ku-main gate, unosvikira ku-bus terminus, uri kunoko. Uri pa-UZA, but Mr. Madondo hawaone lesson raunokwanisa kuita hapana. But ukapinda mu-first gate, maybe waku-admin, uri ku-admin A, unokwanisa kuti ndiri pa-UZ, unokwanisa kuti usendera munhu foto kuti ndiripo, but Mr. Madondo haunaona hausi mulesson, hapana zvaunokwanisa kuita. Upinda another gate, wava mu-department of electronics and telecommunications. Unokwanisa kutaura kuti ndakapinda mudepartment, ndakatoona imwe staff, mamwe mamembers ndakatomaona anga aripo, uri muprivilege mode, hausati wasvika muglobal, hausi mulesson. Ukazopinda rimwe gate, ndoti uone Mr. Madondo opinda mulesson. Kuma-Cisco devices edu, ndo mamodes atinenge tinawo aya. So paunotangira kupinda iwewe, kunenge kune kaaro kakaita something like this. Inonzi user exec. You have limited access, things that you can do. You cannot change ma-settings epa-switch. Ma-settings epa-switch anochinjwa ku-global configuration. So limited access inozobva pakuti you see kuti tichaloka mamodes. Mode ichalokwa. So pane door panapa. Kana iwewe usiri kuda kunzi usvike kunoko, unogumira ipapa. There are very few things vanokwanisa kuita. What are the few things vandinokwanisa kuita ndiripo? Ping. I think ping is the most basic. So let me go back. I hope black screen rangu riri kuoneka. Exit. Right. Ndadzoka pakaaro kangu ako. Kaaro ako ndokanoratidza kuti uri muuser exec. Uri kugate rekutanga tanga. Kana uchida kuona kuti tinoitei, unoisa question mark. These are the small things that you can do. Most importantly, command inonzi ping. Testing for connectivity. Show my running configurations, show my settings, show the current settings of the device. So those are the few things that no kwanisa kuita, but we cannot change how the device runs. Tiri user exec, right? So ndikabuda user exec using the command inonzi enable. Akutanga ubate rapa. Enable, ndabuda user exec, so ndapinda gate iri. ndamuprivilege munomu munenge mune symbol iyo yehash. So if I can go back packet tracer yangu, you can see pane hash panapa. It means ndamuprivilege exec mode. Ndamune rimwe mode. There are also an additional things that I can do kana ndamo. How do I see those? Ndongoisa question mark. You can see panapa ma commands at one day panapa. Right? Atangari probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, around 14, 15. But these ones at one day at times 2. Because tapinda rimwe get. Tanewo zvinhu zvakawanda zvatinokwanisa kuita. But still, we cannot change my configurations in my device. The reasons why we have my mods while is so that we have limited access. Munhu anokwanisa kupinda mune rimwe level asina kwanisa kupinda mune rimwe level. Right, from there, the last level ratinopinda using a command inonzi global config terminal. Tinobva muhash umu topinda munenge makanzi config topinda munenge makanzi config nehash. So how do we go there? Kubva apa kuenda apa pane command rinonzi enable. Kubva apa kuenda apa pane configure terminal. Then osvika apa. So let's practice on that. Ndikauya panapa ndikati configure terminal. Enter. Right. Prompt yangu inobva yachinja kuenda kuna config nekahash. Kana tamu global configuration mode ndoma tinokwanisa kuita masettings anochinja how the device operates. Ndikaisa hash, you can see zvinhu zvatinokwanisa kuita umu zvakati wandei. Right, a lot of things. So I can change, for example, ndokwanisa kunochinja IP address. Right, ndokwanisa kupinda ma sub-configuration modes anonzi unalign configuration sub-configuration mode. Ndokwanisa kupinda muma interface as well. Ndokwanisa kucreate ma VLANs. Tichasvika kunocreate ma VLANs. Ndokwanisa kucreate the spanning tree protocol. Quite a number of things that I can do. Zvese zvandiri kuhighlighta changes how a device runs. So when we talk of my modes, we are talking of my levels, if I can say. Kana uri mulevel yekutanga, you have limited things that you can do, and my privileges ako increase as you go kuma levels ari kumusoro. So basically, what you need to understand is inyaya yema levels here, and how do you move from one level to the other level. Right, going back to our slide. So use exec taiona, we have ka-arrow ako. Ukaona uri muka-arrow uri use exec. Ukaisa command, for example, inochinja the device setting uri muka-arrow use exec. Command iroro won't work. Unotokudza kuti command rauri kuisera ashande muno. So ma-commands ese anoshanda at their specific level. Ukaisa command level isiriyo, it won't be able to work. Privilege exec ka-hash, like we said. The global configuration mode, config nega hash, like we said. Then we have here to line sub configuration, ne interface configuration, config line, ne config IF. So, kana takwisa ma IP address, you see my post edo achaswa ma IP address. How do we do that? Tinopinda to my sub configuration mode. So, for example, ukwanisa kupinda ma interface, that's the command. Fast Ethernet 01. Prompt yangu, command prompt yangu yabva kubva from switch config yaku switch config IF, which is interface. Doing on sub configuration mode. I can change it and go to line configuration mode. Line console 0. And I later practice probably zvirupinda bichana bichana. Because pana vamwe vari kufamba nebhora. Vamwe tinotera kumashure. Right, config line. Tamune imwe sub configuration mode. So, kana ndiri kuda kuchinja how an interface runs, ndodaisa IP address, for example, ndinopinda mu interface configuration mode. Kana ndiri kuda kuchinja how I access the user exec, ndinopinda mu line console 0, for example. Kana ndiri kuda kuconfigure ma settings SSH, ndopinda muline vty for example, we'll get there. Pichana pichana, we'll get there. Masub configuration modes here. Right. Navigating between iOS modes. Tabva nepapo. Kana ndichibva muka-hash, muka-arrow ako ndichida kuenda mu-hash, I use the command enable. Kana ndiri kuda kudzoka kwandabva, I use exit. I can use exit, you go back. Kumashure, level repazasi. Kana ndiri kuda kupinda muline configuration mode, ndinoshandisa line console 0. Number iyo representing the number of lines that we have. Console ine only one line. You will see patiaita VTY ine malines akati one day 16 lines that you can use to access the device. Console ine one line, you can only unokwanisa kuisa console cable one chete. Kana tichitaura kuti maline 16, dai console ine maline 16, it means unokwanisa kuisa macable 16 ari kuconnecta kuma PC 16 anokwanisa kuaccessa the device ese ari 16 simultaneously. But console ine only one line. Zvinoti pane one port raunokwanisa kuaccessa. Only one PC at a time is able to communicate. But SSH, inini kana ndine access ndakagara panapa, Ndlovu ane access as well. Tese tinokwanisa kutopinda muswitch totanga kuita configurations from wherever we are, because my lines akaita sei akawanda up to 16. Tikaita 20, we cannot all of us 20 kuti tikwanisa kuchinja device. Ndo number iyi iri kupesera iyi yakanzi 0. It's very important to start grasping that izvezvizvi. Sub configuration modes, line console 0 end. So you can see kana uri kuda kudzokera kumashure, we already have exit, we already have end, we now have end. Anoshanda pakasiyana. Practice zvayakanakira, with practice you know, ukaisa exit pamwe ikaramba unochinja woisa end, unoona end inokudzosera, or vice versa. Ndo mashandiro anoita practice. So kana if you want to go back, pane pamwe panoshanda exit, pane pamwe panoshanda end, pane pamwe panoshanda mashortcut, for example ana control C, control Z. Inini ndakajairira control C zvisingaiti, inongondidzosera kumashure. Right. The command structure. Command structure yedu commands, they have a structure, and you need to know. Command structure yedu inonzi prompt. Prompt ndo zviri kwekutanga izvi. Pakanzi switch, pangani chiti switch neka arrow, neka hash, ndo panogumira prompt ipapo. Right? Zvinhu zviri inbuilt mudevice izvozvozvo. You cannot change that. You can change the name of the device, host name, we'll get there. Not prompt. So this part is prompt. No big deal, it won't change. Then we have the command. Command ndo rinoudza device zvekuita. So command riri panapa rakanzi ping. Rinoudza device kuti I want to test for connectivity. That's the command. Tine imwe command inonzi IP address. Inoudza device kuti ndoda kuchinja IP address yedevice. Tine commands inonzi show running configurations. Show, if I can say. Show. Inoudza device kuti don't want to display something. Don't need to display my settings. Show running configurations. Don't want to display my startup configurations. Show startup configurations. Don't want to display my IP protocols. Let's say OSPF. Msafunduke will get there. You know, show my protocols OSPF. So command don't repeat tanga. These are predefined. Anenge ari mu device already. These are predefined. Then we have, it's not argument. This is a variable. So ndikaisa IP address command. IP address yacho chaiyo is a variable which can change. Ndokwanisa kuisa 192.168. Ndokwanisa kuita 172.11. Ndokwanisa kuisa 10.00. Ndokwanisa kuisa, it's a variable which changes. Those are not defined. It's the user anoisa an argument yake yarida kuisa. So for example, ndikauya panapa, command demonstrate using the command ratio. Right, ndikauya pano, izvezvi ndiri muconfig line, ndiri mulevel iri, show command yaito. Show iyo inorezi show running configurations, just in case. Right. iro ndikariseva invalid input. Why command rangu riri kuramba here is because mulevel randiri you cannot you cannot enter the show commands. Mashow commands anoendwa tiri mulevel rinenge archive ratinoti privilege exec. So ndikati isa show command, you need to know and identify level rauri, because any other level risiri iro, that command won't work. So show running configurations, show running config, enter ndo masettings atinawo currently aya. Hapana zvataita, mapose edu, mainterface edu hapana zvaamboitwa achiri akangodai so. As we go tichatanga kuchinja zvese izvi, ndokunonzi kuchinja masettings, tichatanga kuchinja izvi. Right, so show command iri papi, let me go back panapa. So show ichichi ndo prompt, right? Then show ndo command, running config ndo variable argument. Why is it a variable? Because I can do this. Ndokwanisa kuti show VLAN ndoshow something like this. Prompt hainochinja, show the command hainochinja, but the variable changed. Tandimbori running config tane VLAN. Simple stuff. So command structure in a prompt, in a command, then in argument. Ukaona command rako risina one of those things, it means that command will not work. So you make sure kuti you know kuti prompt inokurakidza kuti uri mulevel ripi. That's the prompt. Uri mulevel ripi pamamods. Command rinokurakidza kuti uri da kuitei. Then the argument is just a variable zvauchaita zvacho. iOS help features. Help features question mark. That's the most important help feature raunaro. You are stuck as an engineer, hausi kuziva kuti ndoisa command rakaita sei. Ndokwanisa kungoisa question mark. Inotondirakidza kuti mumodhi randiri iri macommands andokwanisa kushandisa ndeISI. Ototarisa ona kuti command randiri kuda IP address amuno. So it means ndokwanisa kupinda mune rimwe mode. Ndopinda muglobal, prompt yangu yachinja, then ndoisa question mark, ndotarisa command randiri kuda ndeIP address, ndotsvaga iro IP iro. Global IP subcommands, right? Interface. There's IP address. There's some interface, right? Interface iri papa. Where do I find the interface? I should be able to find the interface. Right, iri rapa iri. Right, select an interface to configure. Right? Nakuziva besa interface rangu. That's the command. Then the variable. Namboisa fast Ethernet. This time ndaweza give the Ethernet kuchinja variable changing. Right, ndoisa 0 I think ripa. Invalid interface number 01. Yeah, 01 ripa. I think pane 01 is 02. Right. So my help features number 1 yata introduce ndeyekuisa question mark. Inokuallow kuti uone kuti macommands ari mulevel ndapi. Oro ndikaisa command for example, ndikaisa IP, ndoisa A, ndoisa question mark. Inokucompletera kuti unokwanisa kuti IP ARP. Kana usisazive kuti command yatofanira kuisa ndeipi, use the question mark. Then we have things like ukaisa command risingaiti, inokuudza kuti invalid input detected, yokurakidza kaaro kuti pari kutangira huera hwako iwewe nekusaziva macommands ndepapi. So these are some of the things which will help you, right? Then we go to, let's move a bit quicker. Hotkeys. Hotkeys allows us to shorten macommands edu. Ukatarisa configure terminal yangu ndanisiri kuitype yes, I was using my hotkeys. So let me go back here. Let me go back tanga exit. Right. User exec mode. Hotkey user exec mode to privilege exec mode is enable. The full key, the full command is enable. Because enable, it changes, but hotkey is en. Shortcut. ndatochinja apa. The reason why tine mashortcuts, they are very important to your life as an engineer, as a network administrator, as whoever you are going to be career-wise. Why? Because it saves you time. Masvika pabasa network yanzi iri down, there will be no time for you to type 5 mawords ASI or to enter. I also need to highlight this thing. I think a couple of guys right so what are the prerequisites for this course? Ndikufanira ndichite ndikufanira ndine degree here. Ndikati no, you necessarily don't need to have a degree, but I was very clear. At least you need to know kuti kune chinhu chinonzi computer ende inoshanda sei. That includes kuziva kuti ine keyboard unodzanya makeys etc. Maziva izvozvo, with practice you need to be very quick with your hands, because kana takutaura zvebasa network kana iri down, there will be no time rekuisa key one by one time ichifamba network iri down, munodzingwa basa ropera. So you need to be very quick with your hands. It takes practice. Kana uchingoziva computer, being quick with your hands will be very easy. It takes practice. So be quick with your hands. Nema shortcuts, it will help you. Enable, tapinam enable. Then instead of having configure terminal, I can have conf t. That's a hotkey. Instead of having interface fast Ethernet 01, I can have that. That's a hotkey. And now you have fast Ethernet and now you have interface. But still, my interface configuration mode drupin because I'm using a hotkey. So learn to use my hotkeys. The best way to know kuti hotkey chi chinotangira papi. Unonyora, for example, panapa ntoda kubva mu privilege exec mode kuenda mu global. The command randinoshandisa is configure terminal. Ndikanyora C, ndoisa tab. Ndikaona chinochinja, that's not a hotkey. Ndikanyora O, nothing changes, no hotkey. N, tab, no change, no hotkey. F, tab, inobva complete. It means ndikagumira pana F up, the device or the software, the operating system automatically completes the commands for me. Ndikagumira pana N, haite automatic completion ndikaisa tab. Ndikangoisa F, automatic. It means that command is complete yakadai so. That's why it's a hotkey. Ndikaisa T, tab, it will complete. It means T is a hotkey. So one of the things I'm chatotanga kuita is kutsvaga ma-hotkey ndeapi for every command. So unoisa letter by letter kusvika wana yaita autocomplete. Painotangira kuti autocomplete ipapo ndo hotkey. So wakutotanga kudzidzira mashortcuts iwayo and you go from there. These are the hotkeys that we are having. Right. What shortcuts? So tab, some of the things, tab is very important here. Complete a partial command name entry. Dzimwe nguva kana usiri kuziva kuti command rinoshanda nderipi, pamwe unongoziva shortcut, unongoisa shortcut kako oisa tab. Tab will complete the shortcut yaunenge waisa. Backspace tinoziva iti raises. Left arrow or control B, move cursor to the left. We will rarely use that one, but with practice you can try using anana, left arrow, right arrow, or control F. I rarely use those myself, but use practice mono anoshanda say very easy. Right, hotkeys. What are the hotkeys? They're very important, right? Control C, very. Control Z, very important. Control Shift 6, very as well. Right, let's demonstrate. Let's start with Control C. So izvezvi zvindiri global configuration mode. Or ngandipinde mu interface. Let's go mu interface fast Ethernet 01. Right, ndoda kudzokera ku privilege exec mode. How do I do that? I have a couple of ways that I can do that. I can say end. Let me start by exit. Right, exit works. Ndadzoka ku level rekumashure. Dot exit foot. Ndadzoka level rekumashure. Dot exit foot. Ndadzoka level rekumashure. so ndaisa maexit 4. Control C rinokwanisa kuchinja former levels, former commands andaisa iwayo. Let me see. Enable config terminal, ndipinda muinterface rangu fast ethernet 01. Right. Ndikaisa control C. Fortunately, you cannot see. Control C iyo ndarisero. Ndikubva directly from the interface kudzoka kuhash. Then ndikaisa another exit. Ndatodzoka kwekupesera. 2 commands. So control C zvarinoita from wherever level rauri inokudzosa mulevel rekuprivilege exec mode. Ipapo. Pasina maexit hobo. That's why control C is pretty effective. Kana wanjema warasika mumamodzi momo uri mulevel usinzwisisa chii chiri kuitika. Control C is like that reset button rinongodzosera kwaunoziva kune kahash otanga futi kukwidza malevels. Right, so control C is very important. Then tine command control shift plus ne6. Ukaisa command riri ambiguous, for example that one, your device will try to translate that command to an IP address. Tine yatinoti DNS lookup. DNS lookup, it exhausts my resources. Kana pakadaisa apa, you cannot do anything but device rako. Even if I click, I'm trying to click, nothing is happening. Why? Because your device is trying to translate the ambiguous command rawaisa. So how do you stop your device from wasting that memory? Because you can no longer do anything but device. Rinotora time. There's no better, but it takes time. Tine tinoti control shift 6. The command break the sequence. So really very important role. Ukaisa command riri ambiguous risinganzwisisiki, your device will try to try kuita yatinoti DNS lookup, and it takes system resources. You get stuck, you cannot do anything. Control shift 6 breaks that sequence. So this command is very important to know as well, because you make my mistakes. Pa command urotry kuita fast over wangoisa kanhamba ipapo. See what happens. You won't be able to do much. Right. I think for today ngatimbogumire pataita so far, so that mangwana tinosimudzira nema configurations ema device names, etc. I think this one is a very big chapter, so I think 2 more lessons will be enough, because ndikada kucontinue togona kusvika na 12 panapa. Questions. Let's open the floor for more questions. Kana vanhu vachirimo, ngatimboita madiscussions. Wanga vari kuita practice mamuri kuone. Unmute. Mubvunze henyu mibvunzo. No questions. Okay. Over Nigel. No questions. Okay, if we don't have any questions, I think we can end this one now. Let me just stop recording. Tomorrow, same time, we'll continue. Takushitanga with my configurations and change my settings of the device that we are running.